And I want to like say I completely agree that there definitely is like unhealthy versions of prawn. Like I do not like Pornhub at all. Like I think that there's a lot of problems behind that. But I'm completely on board with like stuff like OnlyFans and like a prawn that requires like more art, like hentai and stuff. So because it's not affecting anybody personally, like as trafficking and stuff.
And it's not as easily accessible to children to just like open up their phones and see the most like vile, disgusting things for their brain.
Yeah. So I mean, for the OnlyFans thing, I understand the argument in terms of creators being their own managers and being able to benefit in that sense and be their own boss in a way. I can understand the argument for that in the sense of OnlyFans compared to other options. But like I said earlier, there's less censorship around OnlyFans because it is not a pornography website.
It should be.
At this point, it should be. It was not created for that purpose, but there's no regulation around it. Therefore, people can post whatever they want, basically. But because there are no regulations, there's no like proper age verification. There are lots of stories.
I think there's a lot of issues with OnlyFans.
On what?
OnlyFans and
there is improper age verification on OnlyFans?
Yes,
You're not required to submit your ID and a picture of yourself.
You can fake an ID.
Yeah, I was going to say there have been many stories of
But the average OnlyFans user is like 29 years old anyways, so.
But I do think that the popularity of OnlyFans, like I'm for OnlyFans, but I'm also, it does need to be regulated because joining OnlyFans very early on, like at age 18, is very unhealthy for a woman.
Absolutely.
Well, there are many people that have joined underage because
it does
they'll
come
use
from
somebody else's ID. There's a lot
But it's
a lot
more
of
unhealthy to watch it when you're young rather than to be a part of it when
people
you're older.
are going to
That's
have
facts.
urges that like.
But what's the solution? You can't just ban it altogether, right? So you do the best that you can, and if there are people that get by through that, then there are people that get by through that. That's the nature of society and human flaw. Like, I don't understand.
Did you guys see Utah now? Like, I think you have to upload, like, if you go on any plus 18 site, you have to, like, upload your ID and, like, your full name.
That's the same thing for like OnlyFans.
Yeah, we're talking about two different things. She is talking about a creator. You're talking about using. She's saying as a creator.
No. I'm saying like in Utah, if you're a random Joe Schmo and you go on Pornhub.com, before you can enter, you need to give your information. You need to give your information.
I think that's a good idea.
Shout out to Utah.
I find it's a little intrusive.
Why? Everyone.
That's a great idea.
If you want to engage in plus 18 websites, then you should have to verify it.
If you want to buy alcohol, you got to show your ID and show your 21.
Josh donated $99.
Thank you, man.
America, look yourselves in the mirror and ask yourself, would I give up my right to view pornography to destroy the extreme negatives from the industry and restore the dating marketplace for all ages and the traditional family? Politics have blinded you.
Honestly, though, thank you, Josh, for your TTS. Honestly, like, prawn ain't the best. But I think social media and dating apps have had a much more negative impact than, because prawn's been around since fucking a long time. Like there's Playboy, there was magazines and shit. Obviously now it's much more accessible. However, I think the rapid transformation of the dating marketplace, I think, is more due to social media and dating apps. So
I agree with that because sex work has been around since the beginning of time. So
just because something's been around from the beginning of time doesn't make it a net good.
So then would you say that the same? Would you say the same about being traditional, right? Because like if you're traditional and you want to withhold that, and you would agree that keeping that from like
that doesn't apply to that logic doesn't apply to everything in life. If that logic applied to everything, then everything would be a net bad.
That's not true. Can you?
I would 100% ban porn, 100%, because I started having a porn addiction at the age of 7 years old, and I'm looking back.
But not everyone's gonna have.
Not everybody's going to, but I'm gonna tell you right now how that affected my life, my relationships. I wanted to recreate them scenes instead of being a part of a normal relationship.
I definitely.
So like that, none of the dating apps, social media made me want to do that.
Here's the thing. So what porn has done, Dr. Andrew Huberman does a really great, he has some very great speeches on this. You guys can look it up. He went on Joe Rogan and had a very eloquent description. He talks about it sets your dopamine levels super high, and then they're sort of set there, and you can't reset them. So meaning like everything has to compare to the threesome porn experience that you had on Pornhub, whatever, right? Okay. Now, the thing is where now we have men looking at unrealistic things, women at the same time are now able to message their favorite rapper and have one-off sexual experiences with celebrities and really good-looking men that they find that they would not have had access to before social media. So as men have this unrealistic expectation from what they see from adult performers, women now also have an unrealistic expectation because they can have sex with a high status man but cannot keep one. And now where it gets even worse is now they start comparing every sexual experience or every relationship they had to that one time they fucked Blake Griffin. That's becomes this situation.
Just because Blake Griffin, who is that?
He was a
country singer.
No, Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was the power forward. He was the power forward for the Clippers, and he was was with Kylie Jenner.
Just because someone has high status though doesn't necessarily mean they're good in bed.
No, it doesn't matter. My point is, she had access. Like again, when you think about your baseball player, one day you hit 4 home runs, you start comparing your rest of the career to that one great day that you had. Yeah. It's the same situation. Or you hit 3 ace pairs in a row, and you just take everybody's money playing poker. You keep comparing yourself to that one great thing that you did. In this situation, every woman who had a one night stand with Drake or someone like that, she's kind of in her mind ruined for a normal dude in a normal relationship from that point forward. And I hear this all the time, especially from women who live in Los Angeles. They're like, I dated so-and-so. And I'm like, no, you didn't. I know him and his wife. He fucked you for sure, maybe twice. You never dated him. If I look up pictures of you and him on a red carpet somewhere, there are none. There's pictures of him and his wife. You never dated him. And the fact that she even has the mental, the thought, the imagination that she dated him. Now think about that. In her mind, now that's what she compares every relationship to. So she ends up dating a fucking shortstop for the Dodgers, or ends up sleeping with him like 2 or 3 times. In her mind, she dated him, and now every single person she dates from that point forward has to make the $20 million a year guaranteed contract, has to be this tall, and in her mind that's who she wants. And when things are dissatisfying in the relationship and the shortstop texts her in the middle of the night, she is just far more likely to go back to him. Does everybody understand? That is how social media has fucked up dating. Yep. That's how it is.
You make a good point, because it's not just about looking and watching. It's about comparing, where I think people are unable to separate that part of their brain that contrasts, whether it's social media, porn,
well, sure, yeah, because your brain is not evolved. The same thing can happen with, like, if you watch a TV show long enough. Or the same thing happens with my podcast. People come up to me all the time. I'm sure it happens to Brian all the time. People come up to us and start telling us their life story like we know them, but we don't know them. They watch us for hours every week. They know our whole story, but then they're talking to us like we don't know them, because their brain is not evolved to witness some other human every day, 6 days a week, and then not think that they actually don't know them. Because your brain cannot tell the difference between the two-dimensional objects on the screen and then the other tribe members that you lived with 50,000 years ago, your ancestors lived with. You're not evolved to know the difference. So of course, yeah, I agree with that. So for women, it's like there is an unrealistic belief that because I slept with this country singer, this famous country singer, that is what I deserve every time. And for men, because I witnessed this sexual act on this adult website, that this is what sex is supposed to be for me. Now we have both genders seeing unrealistic expectations, and this is what's ruining dating.
Wait, I have a question. I know you don't know the fact, but what percentage of porn watchers do you think have a healthy relationship with it?
Probably really
Do you think
small.
Majority?
No,
or
to be honest with you, here's what I think. It depends on how much they watch, and there's so many people that watch adult content that I'm sure some of them do have healthy relationships. Yeah, but in general, like, there's a lot of people who don't watch adult content who don't have healthy relationships. We have a 53% divorce rate in this country, and 78% of divorces are initiated by women. So like, I don't think no one's winning right now. Okay, the only people who are winning are like puritanical Christians who get married as virgins. Like, they're the only people. Shout out to Ruslan. I know he's going to clip this. Like, they're the only people who are like actually doing well. The rest of us are just like slightly better than chance. That's what's happening.
All right, we have a chat here from